Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Mysteries from Beyond the Other Dominion. I'm your host, Dr. Franklin Ruehl. Now, the question of the day: is it possible that the Chinese discovered America? Roll tape. Now, to ask the question of the day: did the Chinese discover America back in 1421? And this is the hypothesis of Gavin Menzies, a former member of the British Royal Navy. He points out that China had the most magnificent fleet of any country back in the 15th century. And it was led by this man right here, Zheng He, the admiral of the fleet. Now, he was a rare Chinese. He was an Islamic Chinese, and as a boy, he was a slave. But he rose to the rank of admiral, and under the third Ming Emperor led this fleet. Now, the third Ming Emperor was Ye Du, who was ruthless. He actually killed his 25-year-old nephew, who was next in line, burned him alive so he could secure the throne, then created this magnificent fleet that consisted of 317 ships, 28,000 men, and it took its first voyage in 1405. Now, what's interesting is that sometimes you hear the term junk used to describe Chinese ships. Well, that comes from the Spanish term junco, which in turn was derived from a Malaysian term John describing these ships. But they were anything but junk. They had reinforced bulkheads. They used magnetized compasses, even had gardens aboard so the men would have vegetables and not develop scurvy. The largest of these junks were 3 to 4 times the larger than Columbus's ships. So this was truly a magnificent fleet. It undertook 7 voyages. Basically, each voyage began off the coast of China, off of Beijing, went south into the Indian Ocean, then sometimes went up the east coast of Africa, sometimes the west coast of Africa. But he claims, Gavin Menzies claims, that on that 7th voyage, they went beyond that. They came up around the west coast of Africa into the Atlantic Ocean and then headed west to that green area we call North America. A voyage of about 22,000 miles. But their ships would have been able to handle that type of voyage. Now, what is the evidence that the Chinese arrived on the east coast of America? There have been ships found that appear to be Chinese in origin off the coast of Florida, South Carolina, and New York. And there appears to be a Chinese settlement in Nova Scotia about 400 miles south of a Viking settlement there. Currently, radiocarbon dating and DNA analysis is being undertaken to determine the age and origin of those ships and bones. We will know in the future, and I'll report on that. Now, I'd like to suggest that one complaint was that if they discovered America, why didn't they remain there? Well, it turns out that when they returned in 1424 to China, a new emperor had taken over. Another Ming emperor, but he was a Confucian who believed in isolationism, and he let that magnificent fleet of ships rot away at moorings, never to be used again. Now, there was a 1428 Chinese map depicting North America, also a 1295 map from Kublai Khan's reign, and also one dating back to 2200 BC, indicating the Chinese knew of North America even thousands of years ago. I suggest also they might have taken a more direct route. Instead of always heading south, some captain with all those ships, all those adventuresome men, would have said, let's head east and let's find out what's over here. And in the green, again, North America, that voyage would have been about 9,000 miles. I call it the direct route. Is there any evidence for that? Yes, we have found stone anchors off of Palos Verdes, California, that appear to be Chinese in origin. So it is conceivable the Chinese discovered both the east and west coast of America. And of course, I present other evidence in the past that we had ancient Egyptians in Mississippi, ancient Romans in Texas, an African prince in ancient Brazil, and of course the Vikings possibly even getting into Heathner, Oklahoma, where we found this mysterious runestone. So all the evidence suggests that rather than being the discoverer of the New World, Christopher Columbus was actually a latecomer. Yes, a latecomer. Yes, a latecomer. Now, until next time, may the power of the cosmos and the Chinese fleet be with you. Yes, yes, yes.